Hello again. So this time I'm going to be sorting out a new tyre on a wheelbarrow. You can see this one. I blew it up and it went bang. I maybe put a bit too much pressure in it, but you see the inner tube's fine, but the tyre's gone. So we need to take this wheel off, stick a new tyre on it. So most of these are the same. Usually it's just a nut and bolt on here. So all I need to do is undo the nut. There's a bolt on the other side and this wheel will come off. So here we are, taking the nut off, undoing the bolt on the other side, and then I can pull the bolt out. The wheel should just come off like that. So now the first thing to do is to let all of the air out of that inner tube, if there's any left in it. You want the tyre to be completely flat, otherwise it'll be a nightmare to get the thing to pieces. Okay, and what I can do is put it on the floor. I'm holding the valve, just roll it a little bit. We pan the camera down a bit. Just roll it like that so you get all that extra air out, and you should find that it comes nice and loose on the rim there. Now you can see that with all the air out of the tyre, you can see that this wheel is really quite loose. So what I can do is push it across to one side, and you'll see I can pretty much pull it off the rim just as it goes. You don't need any tyre levers or anything like that. What tyre levers will do is that they will damage the inner tube if you're not really careful. So push that across and you can see it just comes straight off, and there we are. So I can retrieve the tube, get rid of the old tyre and then find a new tyre, which happens to be on this wheel, so I need to take it off there first. So this is the same deal. It's nice and empty. I'm pulling it across and you can see that it starts to come off the wheel quite nicely. Further around there, and there we go. That one's off again. So it's not difficult, you don't have to struggle with it, you don't have to get tyre levers. These things will just come off as long as you pull them in the right direction. There we go, pull that one off. It's one side out. And there's the other one done. Putting it back on again, the opposite of taking it off. So the first thing you do is you put it onto one side of the tyre, just like doing a bike tyre. Clean out all the dead snails and things from the rim first. You push it in on one side, and one side's easy to just go in like that. And we take the tube, and what we want to do is put a little bit of air in the tube so that we can put it into the tyre. So I've just got a little pump here. I'm just going to pump a little bit of air into the tyre. So what I want is for the thing to keep its shape, but I don't want it to get huge. So that's just enough air to get it to keep its shape. And you'll find then, and obviously you can see that this is sticking out in one direction, so that's the direction I need to put it in through the hole. So there's the hole. It's going to have to stick out like that. So I'll stick that through from the other side. So essentially putting this into the tyre. And because you've blown it up, you should find it goes in quite nicely like that. Okay, and then you can start to move it onto the rim all the way around. When it's on, we can poke the valve through the hole in the right place, like that. There we are. And then starting at the valve, we put the tyre back on. So this side like that, we go around, we put it on the ground, push it in, and here we are, pushing it down. Now the next step, once you get to the point where it's getting really tight, is to let the air back out again. So you've got it in, which is what you wanted the air in there for, And now you let the air back out so that you can get the tyre back on. Okay, so with all the air out, I can now just carry on. And as I put the tyre on, I'm pulling the wheel back to make more space at the top here for the tyre to go on a bit further. And you can see with each push, it's just going on a bit further. I pull it back, and then just using my thumbs, I can just clip it back over, and that's the tyre back on. Round to the valve, make sure it's still there. At this point when there's no air in it, if the valve's sticking out one way or the other, you can just gently move the wheel around until it's in the middle. Then we just fill it back up with air. Here we go. And hopefully this time, this tyre won't explode like the last one did. There we go. Now for a wheelbarrow you don't need a great deal of pressure in it. Maybe about 20 or something, it should say on the tyre, to be honest. Do not overinflate, it says. Well, that's useful, isn't it? 35 psi it says maximum, so about 20 should be good. So we're back again. The tyre's all pumped up. All we need to do now is put it back on the wheelbarrow. So taking the thing that fell out, the little line thing, put that back in. I can now offer the wheel up, put it into its space, pop the bolt back through. It should, if I line it up right, fit back in like that. Now this one I'm going to need to screw in a bit. You can put a little bit of grease in there, stop it from squeaking while you've got things to pieces, but not in this particular instance. There we go, and the bolt's coming back through. And once the bolt's through, and what you can do is just tap it with a hammer, it'll come back through. Pop the nut back on, and that's it. One new wheelbarrow tyre, and or in a tube. Obviously sometimes you want to fix a puncture. It's just like fixing a bicycle tyre puncture. Just get your puncture repair kit. And there we are, job done. So I hope that was useful. If you liked it, feel free to subscribe. Otherwise, I might see you next time.